Hi ho everybody, this is Ryan with ukuleleplay.com and the Happy Valley Ukes. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about some strumming. I've been meaning to do this video for quite a while about triplet strums. We're going to go over sort of my three favorite triplet strums and then a bonus triplet strum that you might find useful. Let me just first of all demonstrate these triplet strums really quick. And so here's the first one. This is my absolute favorite. So there's the first one, and then the second one goes like this. And then we've got this third one here that's a little bit different from those two. Right? Okay. And then last of all, the bonus one. Right. Okay, so we're going to talk about each of those. These are very useful. Triplets are a really great rhythmic thing to know, not only for 3/4 and 6/8 types of time signatures, but also for in the middle of anything that's got a little bit of a swing to it, lots of jazz music, 20s music. So without further ado, let me just show you some ways I notate these. And so this may just look like gobbledygook to you at first, but trust me, in less than no time practically, that this is all going to make sense. So this first symbol up here, this is the symbol for a downstroke. Okay, and then just to show you what a downstroke, regular downstroke is we've just got going through with the index finger. You point at the ground basically. You flick that fly off your strings. That's your basic downstroke. Now, some people like to strum down with their middle finger instead, and that's just fine too. Works just as well. So that's your regular downstroke, and that's how you notate a downstroke traditionally. Now, the next symbol, the P up here, actually stands for one of your fingers, and this comes out of the guitar tradition, which is Spanish, right? So pulgar for thumb is the finger, right? And so this just basically means that on this symbol, it's going to mean that you're going to follow through with a thumb strum. Okay, and so thumb strums are your basic ballad strums, right? So if I were to take the downstroke and then do a thumb strum, so there's the downstroke, there's the thumb strum, and all of a sudden I've got two parts of my first triplet. Right? So that's all we need left is the upstroke, right? And so traditionally, the upstroke is notated with a V shape. Now, don't ask me why. It's kind of weird. But this is basically an upstroke. And so if you put those three together, you have my first and probably my favorite of all the triplet strum patterns, right? And so down, followed by thumb, followed by up. And this is just a very easy triplet. Divides it into three separate parts that move naturally together. So it's cool stuff. And that one I sort of just figured out on my own when I was first starting to learn how to play about 10 years ago. And so just to highlight that, the one we were playing was this one. So down, thumb, up, down, thumb, up, down, thumb, up. And that is your triplet. Okay. Now there's another way of doing this, and we're actually going to skip. We're going to skip and go down to this last symbol here. Now this is a symbol I've made up. I've made up some symbols of my own in order to notate things. These are all symbols that you can find in your character map if you wanted to print them out. So if you're looking on your character map for your keyboard, you can find these symbols. They're just sort of way down there, or you can just go to my website and copy paste some of these symbols from powerup.ukuleleplay.com. And so this is an up as well, and I just made this one up because this is going to be an up with your thumb. So I'm just going to put the P there for the thumb. So an up P, an up thumb, right? Up pulgar, right? And so this is actually a way of doing it that I learned from watching a video by Jake Shimabukuro. Basically what he was showing this large group of people to do was how to do a different kind of triplet strum. One of the advantages of this one is that it can go much faster than the first one I showed you. And so you're doing the down, but instead of stopping your thumb up here and carrying through with your thumb, you're allowing your thumb to go down past the strings. And then you go up with the thumb and up with the finger. So you get your triplet 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now the advantage of this is that you can get blazingly, lightningly fast on this because you aren't stopping your hand. On the first one, you're stopping your hand mid-stroke, and that slows you down. So let's see how fast I can get the first one. The first one I can get about this fast. Now that's not too bad, right? Seriously, that's pretty fast, okay? But this other one, you don't have to stop your hand. And so this is actually much more fluid. You're going to be able to go way faster on this one. So down, up, down, up. Right? So this is a great one to insert in like in the middle of 4/4, like in the place of even 2/16 notes, right? So if you're like doing like down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? And if you wanted to get that in there really fast, that just, right? Just a really fast thing. Or for a really fast, just constant motion, right? So that's triplet style number 2. And so I would notate that one this way, the second pattern on there. So that was number 2 right there. Okay. Now the third pattern, this is one I learned from actually going to a ukulele festival. And I went to the Reno Ukulele Festival quite a while ago. And Lil Rev was teaching a workshop. And he's pretty awesome. He knows all kinds of cool techniques. So if you want to look him up, Little Rev, ukulele, cool beans stuff, right? Okay. And so let's look at this one. So what we've got is another term here that we haven't talked about. So I'll write this term in. This is a roll. And he may not have taught it exactly this way, but anytime you have 2 or more fingers going across the strings, I consider that a kind of a roll, right? So let me show you what I mean. The most famous roll is a 4-finger roll. We're not going to do a 4-finger roll for this. Okay, so a 4-finger roll would be to go across the strings with pinky, index, middle, pinky, ring, middle, index in that order, right? Fanning out from, okay? And so that's a traditional 4-finger roll, right? And it's really important if you're going to do 4-finger rolls to go ahead and practice that fanning your hand out in the wrong direction, because we're used to opening up our hand from the index down to the pinky. It's a little bit counterintuitive to go from the pinky up to the index. And so that's how to do a roll, right? And you can do 3-finger rolls. I think a 4-finger roll sounds a little bit better, but you can actually do 2-finger rolls as well, right? And that actually doesn't sound half bad, right? So that's just doing 2 fingers. It's the middle finger followed by the index, right? Or even if you put them together and just strum down with those 2 fingers, it's basically, I'm still going to call it a roll even though you're not really rolling, right? Because I got to have a symbol for this. And so if you're going down with the 2 fingers, then you're going to go up twice, but you're only going to use 1 finger at a time. And so the way I do it is I roll down with the 2, and then I go up with the middle, and then up with the index. Down with 2, up middle, up index. So down, roll up, up, roll up, up, roll up, up, roll up, up. Now, I don't use this one as much, so I can't do it as fast as Little Rev does it, but I wanted to show it to you because it is pretty cool, and there's like some really good uses for this. And you can do this one kind of on the slow side, or you can get it going faster, okay? And I know Little Rev can do it lots faster than I can. So, but that's another way to do it. So looking over back at the notation, roll up, up right here. There we go. Okay, now the last one, this is our bonus triplet strum. And by the way, there are like so many different ways to do triplet strums. This is just scratching the surface. There's fan techniques and all kinds of crazy stuff. You can sort of experiment with some of those if you look on the strumming page on the powerup.ukuleleplay.com website under strumming. There's a whole triplet page, and it's got all kinds of crazy notated strums on it. Okay, but this last one is sort of what I consider the cheat strum, right? You notice it's all just down, up, down, up, down, up, right? And so showing that, I've seen people do this, okay, and it works, okay. I don't think it works as well as some of the others, but you can get this one going pretty fast as far as putting into practice without having to do too much work. And so if you're doing this, you know, you're going down, up, down, up, down, up. So I put a little accent mark over the second up, right? And so we're dividing what would normally just be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and, right? We're dividing it separately, and so we're giving an accent to an upbeat. Now that doesn't work as well because you don't have the nail to give you that extra little bit of oomph, right? And so down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now it helps if you don't accent you only accent the first down, right? So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Let me see if I can get that going faster. Triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it, triple it. And you can get this one going really fast, you know. Now, I have a hard time not accenting that last down, and so it sounds still kind of 3/4-ish to me. So that's okay. Like I said, this one is probably my favorite for medium tempos. The very first one. And then if I really need to pull out some speed, I've got the second one. Right? And then there's the roll one. And you can add more of a roll to that. Give it a different kind of effect, right? Or the bonus one, we've got down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So I hope you find that useful. Triplet strums are pretty cool. They allow you to do things that you normally wouldn't be able to do with just down ups. most of the time. And so, and there's lots of situations for using triplets. You've got your 6/8 patterns, you've got your 3/4 kinds of songs, your waltz songs. Slow triplets make really, really great strumming for things like "Oh Christmas Tree," which is a pretty standard one, or "Amazing Grace," another standard waltz strum type time signature. All those 3/4 time signatures. And 6/8 stuff, I'm having trouble thinking of one right now. There's "McTavish is Dead." It's one of my favorites. I'm not sure a lot of people know it, but oh, McTavish is dead and his brother don't know it. His brother is dead and McTavish don't know it. They're both of them dead and they're in the same bed, and neither one knows that the other is dead. And then if you get it going faster, then you can start showing off some of these other strums. Oh, McTavish is dead and his brother don't know it. His brother is dead and McTavish don't know it. Right? And so on and so forth. So you can actually strum faster than you can sing it with that down, up, up one. And so one more time, here are the different patterns. And you can roll these down, or you can go to, like I said, my website, powerup.ukuleleplay.com, and look under the strumming section for the page on triplets. And I'll probably be posting this video to that page as well, so it'll be handy for people to reference later. And so there you go. You got your down, your thumb, your up, your roll, and then you're up with your thumb, and then you've got those 4 different patterns. The very last thing I want to say is we've got there's a really quick way to write a triplet in your music without having to write all of this out, right? And if you know which triplet you would prefer in a given situation, just a really easy way to write triplet is to sort of do an E on its side. It's got 3 prongs to it. This is another character that you can get off of your character map. And another, you could just do a sideway. You could just do a regular capital E if you wanted to. That still would give you the very same information. This is something that's 3-pronged. It's got 3 parts to it. Very visual. A W would work, right? Okay, so any of those things that work. I use this first one in when I print this into scores and things, just because it's different enough that people aren't like wondering, E? Does that mean E something? So that one says triplet to me very much. And anyway, so I hope that was helpful. And the best way to learn these is to practice slowly. And when you're going through, and this is good advice for learning all different kinds of pattern things. When I was first learning this first pattern, the down, thumb, up, just to get it into my brain, I would do this for like a half an hour in front of a television program, right? And so now I can just do it and I can talk to you and just sort of riff, right? And I don't really think about it anymore because it's literally programmed into the muscle memory of my brain, and I don't have to think to play it. And that's where you really want all your strumming, is you just want it completely programmed into your muscle memory, because then you don't have to think about it when you're singing words, when you're doing chords, what chord's coming next. You can think about musical issues instead of thinking about a technical issue. Strumming I consider to be a technical issue, something that we really can delegate to to that muscle memory in our brain. And so practice slowly, go really slow, and just let the repetitions just seep their way in. So whichever one you liked best, you can tell me in the comments what's your favorite triplet strum. If there's a different one that you like and you'd like me to feature in a future video, I'd be glad to do that. So just put it in the comments, and happy strumming.